Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 73 of Season 2 Let's Play. So in the previous episode I started dealing with mutating majestic bees and noble bees into hopefully the imperial bees. I'm still working towards hopefully getting a pure majestic strain here, but it's taking quite a long time. Now the Thumbcraft frames have been quite a helpful thing in this entire process, but I'd like to try something else in the entire bee DNA stuff. I want to try and get the tier 2 extra bees machines, the one that use the genetic machine as a base block. And there are 3 machines that you can create with it. This is basically the base block for the 3rd tier. That's this one, the advanced genetic machine, but that's not the one I'm looking for. The gene pool, the sequencer, and the splicer. Now, I did play a little bit with them in the test world, and they seem to be quite nice. They won't help me right away because in order to actually use them properly, you need a very large amount of bees. But for example, using a combination of all those different bees, since let's say I do have a lot of cultivated drones, I could create a template of a cultivated drone, and then copy that template over other bees. For example, rocky drones, and then make them into cultivated drones. This is actually quite a very nice thing. So, for example, if I have only one imperial drone, which I still do have, I cannot actually create a template yet. You need about half a stack of those drones or princesses to actually create the actual template. So it's not that overpowered, but it does, once you have a sufficient amount of those bees, you can get started. So I'm actually gonna get started first by building a small, nicer area to work with, because this is kind of a mess and I'm starting to run out of room. So I'm gonna probably expand and build some balcony here or something that will be designated for bee stuff. So I'm gonna get started and I'll be right back. And this one just managed to finish. I got myself a majestic princess and 2 more imperial drones. Drones are nice, but I really would like to get the princess, because that's pretty much the only way I can make sure that I'm purifying the strain. So I'm gonna try and wait until I get the actual imperial princess instead. Okay, I made this outside porch relatively ugly. Using the zirconium blocks and some stairs, and everything is made out of glass. All the walls are made out of glass. Obviously, I'm using this wall as a support, you may say, for my house. So here I'm gonna do everything related to the tier 2 B stuff. Hopefully tier 3 in the future. And by the way, for general knowledge, tier 2 mainly deals with replicating existing bees, and basically using useless bees to create a fuel for replicating existing bees. And tier 3 deals more with perfecting the bees, like extracting specific properties from an existing bee to perfect a strain of bees. Which is something which is quite interesting, I won't lie, but at the moment for me it doesn't matter at all. For example, a type of property you may want to perfect. Ooh, got Imperial Princess, and I believe I'm very happy with it. For example, you may want to breed a type of bee with a tolerance towards heat of 5 or something, and so you may want to extract that property and apply it to a different type of bee, something very high-tech. Okay, this one has an imperial as active and inactive noble. I would like to have an imperial. This one seems fine. Can I have a better one? This one has bad properties. And this one also has bad properties. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this one. How's the fertility though? This one has a fertility of 4. It's working slower, I think. Yeah, it's working slower, but has a higher fertility. How about this bee? Yeah, okay, this bee has the highest fertility. So I'm gonna use that one so they breed as much as possible. Let's just replace one of those bees, one of the apiaries, with this type of bee. What's kind of useless? Cultivated I'd like to keep. Common I'd like to keep. other common I can spare. Actually, let's keep this one and replace this one. So this will start giving me the royal jelly I so need. So desperately need. Let's actually... okay, so the queen is Imperial Noble still, but most likely it won't mutate and will remain Imperial, I hope. Okay, so let's get started with the actual tier 2 stuff. So I'm gonna need a genetic machine as a base block for every one of those 3 blocks. I'm gonna create 3 of those. 3 genetic machines. Then I'm gonna need the base block from the first tier. And by the way, the first tier is the indexer, the acclimatizer, and what else is this? The first tier. We got the acclimatizer, the databank, which is pretty much the database itself, just as a block instead of something you carry around, and the indexer again. Those are the first tier of those bee machines from extra bees. And by the way, everything here is extra bees. This is not original forestry or anything in the sort. This is extra bees mod. Okay, so I'm gonna need 3 circuit boards, so tin, redstone, and some water. Yeah, tin, redstone, and some water. Actually, I already have one refined, but I don't think I'm gonna need a basic one. So 3 buckets of water should give me everything that I need. I probably would like to start automating some sort of canning process. I do have a ton of tin. Some sort of a automated canning process for tin and lava. Not tin, water and lava. So every time I need something, for example for the acclimatizer or anything like that, I immediately have it available to me in canned form. It's gonna be quite a useful thing. I think it refuses to use that tin as the recipe. Oh, the recipe is wrong. Whoops, my bad. So tin in the middle and redstone all around. Okay, there we go. So 2 more of those, 1 more bucket, and 1 more yet again. This is why I want cans, because this process will be a lot simpler. Just throw inside 3 cans and you're good to go. And I know I can also connect the carpenter directly to a water source using liquid ducts or something, but yeah. Okay, I'm also gonna need 3 apiarist machines. I think I've used all of them. Let's make sure that I haven't. Oh, no, I have 1 spare. Okay. So let's just get some more. I'm also gonna get over the night. Okay, so I got myself 2 extra apiarist machines. I'm gonna need some lapis, and I think I have everything that I need, and some iron, of course, as well. So some lapis, some iron, and I should have the 3 basic building blocks. Okay, so from here on, I'm gonna create all, like every one of each. So the gene pool. The gene pool is basically the machine that will take bees and extract them for the liquid fuel that you need to create everything. It's called liquid DNA. It actually has a very nice texture to it. So I'm gonna need some tanks, some gold, and some redstone, and some glass. So I'm gonna need a lot of glass. I need some gold, and I should have everything else. So let's create. Oh no, wait, wrong one. Genetic machine, the uses for it, and the gene pool. That's what it's called. Okay, so 4 of those. So the gene pool, 1 word. Let's get that one made. The next thing is the splicer, or actually let's create the sequencer first. It doesn't make much difference. The sequencer is the machine that you take an existing bee and basically extract its content, destroying the bee in the process, while creating the template of that bee. So this machine will usually require about half a stack of bees, half a stack of drones specifically, and it will create and then it will create the template of that bee. And the splicer is the last machine that this one will use that template and create the specific bee that you want. So I'm gonna need some diamonds, and I believe that's it. Yep. Okay. Now, in addition to all of that, I'd actually would like to use some railcraft tanks to store all the liquid DNA. So I did have, yeah, those old tanks that I used to store fuel in. I'm gonna use these tanks now for the liquid DNA. I'm gonna get some liquid ducts and some more redstone energy conduits. Let me arrange my inventory and I'll be right back. Okay, so now all three machines need Buildcraft energy to work with. However, the gene pool, this one will create the liquid DNA. This one will create the liquid DNA. The sequencer doesn't need liquid DNA, and the splicer does need liquid DNA. So I'm gonna need to arrange it in a specific order around the room so it makes kind of sense, and also a possibility to automate it in the future. So give me a second to decide how I want to get this done. Okay, so for now I decided to go for something that looks like this. This is the gene pool. This is where you place your bees that will create the liquid stuff. I've connected some liquid ducts here that this one will need some redstone signal applied to it, so it will extract everything. Everything will be stored here in this iron tank. This iron tank will extract liquid DNA when possible into this splicer. And this sequencer, I just place it here for some convenience in regard to where I'm going to place my energy conduits, because it doesn't actually need anything liquid, it's working on its own, except for the fact it also needs Buildcraft energy. So I'm going to connect everything into my already existing battery box, or my redstone cell, however you want to call it. Let me get everything done properly. So this block will be broken. So will this two. This and this. Can probably replace this one. So some energy will be going from here, going down. Having all the power in this area is actually a lot more convenient than I thought it will be. So good thing I've set it up like so. I'm gonna need the other tool for this. Whoops. Okay. So going over here. And here, connect it to the same network, and then also connect this machine to the same network as well. So this block, break it and connect it like so. So every block has some energy right now. This is the energy that it requires. And I think these machines, yeah, they also actually waste some energy, I think, even when they're not being used. Which may be kind of annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. How is my actual energy cell doing? I'd like to know. Is it being drained more than it's being refilled, or what's going on with it? Okay, so it seems to be doing fine. Well, at the moment only the engine is working and the machines are consuming a little amount of energy, but for the time being it seems fine. Okay, so how everything works. Let's start with the actual gene pool. The gene pool is the one that creates the liquid DNA. Now, the liquid DNA isn't making a difference whether or not it's made from any type of drone. So, for example, the liquid DNA of the forest drone, the liquid DNA of the meadows drone doesn't make any difference. They're all the same liquid. They're all the same fuel. So there is no difference whatsoever which type of bee you're using. So personally, I really would like to actually use bees which I have a ton of, such as the rocky bees. So I think I'm going to get started with those. Now, one more thing to know is that there is a difference between the amount of liquid DNA that you create. So for example, I have the exact number here somewhere. Okay, there you go. So an unidentified drone, for example, a drone like this, which is unknown, will create 50 microbuckets. 50 microbuckets is 1 divided by 20 amount of buckets. So 20 drones of those unidentified drones will give me 1 bucket of liquid DNA. However, an identified drone gives me 100 microbuckets, so double that amount. So if I invest 1 honey drop, I'm going to get double the amount of liquid DNA. Now, an unidentified princess gives me 250 microbuckets, so a quarter of a bucket, but an identified princess will give me half a bucket. So you can start seeing here where an automation using an identification process may be a useful thing. I actually would like to know, can I do something like so? If I'm gonna, those bees stack for some reason. Oh, it's night. Can I do this, or it will not work? Oh, come on. I was looking in my interface and I angry that Enderman. Seriously. Okay, so it's actually, I think I manage, yeah, for some reason, there is some broken reason, everything, all the drones that I find from mining, for some reason, they all, like, stack together. For some unknown reason. Anyway, yeah, let's throw all of them inside here, and you're gonna see it starts processing. It's using some energy, of course, and every time one of those drones finishes processing, I'm gonna get some liquid DNA here. And I did actually forget to have this extracting energy, so not energy, but the liquid DNA. So let's get some redstone signal using a torch, preferably. So the conduit is always extracting. Let's just break this block right here and have a redstone signal. Oh no, this is exactly, I think, a transposer. Yeah. Okay, this will be a bad idea. Yep, and I've just broken some wire as well. Awesome. Okay, it's gonna need to be replaced, and this will probably need to be moved, or I may need to find a different solution. Let's first fix this. So, the alloy wire. That is some unfortunate placement. I didn't even think about that as something that may happen. How can I solve this? Okay, let's get the cover. It will be a little bit ugly, but it will take care of the problem. So, or actually, can I take the block underneath it? Yeah, that's fine. So now it's extracting the liquid DNA. It's getting stored here. And I'm gonna also would like to extract from here as well. So whenever there is something available, it will be here. And I'm gonna have this entire tank as a large buffer of liquid DNA when possible. So now this splicer holds the liquid DNA. At the moment it has no use whatsoever, but in the future it will. And actually, you know what? Let's get to the future now. However, before that, how is my majestic bee doing? My imperial queen. She's not doing very well, I think. I'm not seeing any interesting produce yet, and actually, can a royal jelly... At the moment, royal jelly does end up in this centrifuge. What will happen to the royal jelly if it ends in the centrifuge? I think it doesn't even have a recipe. However, I'm not seeing anything yet. So it should... Theoretically, it should just get stuck here, but that's not the case. I need to do something about it, because the royal jelly is not a comb. It's not something that needs to be processed in a centrifuge. It makes no sense making its way there, but I'm going to need to take care of that later. Okay, so let's start actually using some of it, or at least start the process of using some of it. Some of the liquid DNA. Let's create a template of something. However, you actually need the template itself first. Now it has different qualities and all those kind of things. I'm just gonna get a blank template and create something. So you're gonna need honeydew and 4 glass panes. Now I do have some honeydew, so that's good. I'm gonna create one template. Every template will basically give you one bee template. So you may need half a stack of bees, but only one template. Templates don't get used. Okay, so I got this template. So which bee would I like to create a template for first? I think I'm gonna go for the cultivated bees, because I do have a ton of them, and yeah, unfortunately they do not stack, or do they? Yeah, there's some funny business going with bee stacking. Sometimes they stack, sometimes they don't. just got a majestic drone. Okay, so place the blank template here and just place the bees that you would like to get used. Now here I'm not exactly certain, maybe also using analyzed drones may be a smarter idea. I don't actually know. I did some testing with unidentified bees and it took about half a stack. Let's see with this amount of identified bees, see how it goes. So every time you place a bee in here, I cannot create a template for this species. Oh, because it's half and half. Okay, this one is purebred. Or I guess no, maybe because it's identified. Actually, you probably can't do it for identified bees. Yep, I guess you can't. Then let's try using unidentified bees. I guess I have no choice. So let's get some unidentified common cultivated drones. And that should give me... What? Can I create... Why can't I learn the DNA of cultivated drones? Okay, let's try a different type of bee. Is it just cultivated? Let's try common. Can I do it for common? Yep, I guess I can. Then why can't I do it for cultivated? This is odd. Okay, so let's identify them, see if the process has any difference. Yeah, okay, so there is no difference. At least I can use both of them in the sequencing process, but for some reason the sequencer hates cultivated bees. I don't know why, but it does. Now, for a second there, I thought maybe because cultivated bees are not hive bees. They're a combination, a mutation of bees. Maybe that was the problem, but apparently it wasn't. Where is my royal jelly? Why am I getting no royal jelly? I'm not happy. Imperial Queen. Possible produce. Okay, let's try giving this specific bee more frames. Maybe it's the frames she's missing to actually get possible normal produce. Or first, let me actually take a quick look. How is the sequencer doing with the amount of bees that it did have? Okay, so every time a process is finished, it's taking quite a long time, as you can see. I think about 20 seconds per time, or 10 seconds, or 15 seconds, something along those lines. And you can't accelerate that. There is nothing you can do to accelerate that. That progress bar goes up. And then when it reaches the topmost part, the blank template is done. So I guess that seems to be roughly the same speed as unidentified bees. So I don't think there is actually any point or any reason to actually do that. Not that I see right now. So I'm gonna just add some more bees to the process and let it run. Okay, so brought some more common bees, and I also got some relay, red power relay, so I can actually automate this a little bit better. However, there is some interface problems with the relay. It ignores this slot and directly goes into here. It's kind of annoying, but it works. So, but I do have to kind of manually make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Yeah, you can see that some bees are just disappearing. Yeah, okay, this is not a good thing. Did it fall through it, or what happened, or did they just disappear? Yeah, I just lost a couple of common bees, and I guess the red power stuff and forestry stuff tend to have problems. This is not the first time I'm encountering this. More often than not, also the farms, they tend to have some issues, so it tends to happen. I did add some frames to those bees. Still no royal jelly. I actually expected to specifically get stuck here. But it's not yet happening. Probably gonna take a while. So yeah, I'm gonna need to manually add some bees there. Using a relay won't be helpful. It's actually gonna only be damaging. Can probably use Buildcraft. Buildcraft pipings. That will probably work properly, but still, just better use those bees. It's unfortunate that the inventory buffer here is so small, and sometimes the bee stacks, and sometimes they don't. More often than not, they don't stack. So this is kind of annoying. But I really would like to get this template done to show you guys how this thing works. It's actually quite nice. I am surprised, well, not surprised, that will be the wrong word, but quite disappointed for some reason that the cultivated bees simply don't get replicated. I don't know why. It's very odd. I can use them in the... I can extract the liquid DNA from them because I have so many of them, but don't really need to at the moment, so it is quite annoying. Oh, I guess actually I could use Buildcraft hoppers instead of relays with that forestry machine. Actually forgot they exist. I'm using only relays. Let's give that a try, because hoppers are Buildcraft and not red power, and forestry is also Buildcraft basically. So let's give that a try. Let's try and get some bees going here. Let's get some common bees. Try placing down the hopper, see how that works. Okay, if I place one down. Yeah, that seems to be working more properly. Okay, there we go. Now it seems to be working fine. Yeah. So use the hoppers, don't use relays. If you want this to have a larger buffer. Still no royal jelly. I'd like to have one. Oh, there we go. A royal jelly. Nice. Should have talked before. Okay, so now that I have a royal jelly, let's try to automate the process of this not getting stuck here. What I'm going to do is get some more relays and get a diamond pipe. So diamond pipe and some more relays. This is going to be ugly. This is going to be very ugly, but this is going to be functional. If you know me, you know what's more important. Okay, so replace the golden pipe here with a diamond pipe. Introduce ugly relay formation. Wrong, this is bad. More like this. Oh. Okay, this will need to be moved. What am I filtering here? Snowballs, right. Okay, let's move this. That I did not think about. So filter and snowballs. So let's have it up here. Oh, come on. Okay, rotate it. Like this, and move the void pipes and obsidian pipes. By the way, I've noticed in the couple latest episodes I'm having a little bit of issues with FPS, which I'm gonna need to resolve at some point. Okay, so the relay will filter into the white slot only royal jelly. Please, nothing else. There we go. Red slot doesn't make a difference. Nothing goes to the red slot because only stuff come out of the red slot. And you know what? Because it looks like this, I can make it look a little bit less ugly. Let's get some tubes instead. Okay, so let's modify it slightly. Remove this, rotate this to go up, and add tubes. Okay, now this is slightly less ugly. So any royal jelly will always go to the white slot, and I can also do that for sugar that I get pretty much never, but it does happen sometimes. So sugar will also go to the top, and I think everything else is a product. Basically the royal jelly is the first thing that got stuck in here, and yeah, and everything else will simply go to the blue. The diamond pipe works like this, that if the color has something, only this thing will be allowed towards that color. If it's empty, everything is allowed towards that color. So everything is allowed towards blue, but royal jelly and sugar are only allowed towards white. So I have my first royal jelly. Woohoo! Now I should start working towards the other product that I need for the alveoli, which is the pollen. How do I get pollen? Okay, so pollen, apparently I can get from industrious bees, using the wiki here. Did I discover industrious bees yet? I think I haven't. They seems to be a mutation from diligent and unweary. Did I get both of them? Okay, unweary I did get, and diligent of course. How do I get unweary? Diligent and cultivated gives me unweary, and diligent, well obviously how much do I have of any of them? Oh, I already have 3 unwary drones, and I have a lot of diligent drones, but no diligent princess. So let's try to get actually a diligent princess. That will be a good idea. How do I get the diligent? Cultivated and common. Okay, simple enough. I do have a common queen. I'm gonna let her die. And unfortunately no cultivated princesses or queens. And this is where having the template's gonna get into place. Actually, do I have it? Yeah, there we go. Even I got it at excellent quality. I have no clue what it means. You know what? So this will be the perfect time and example to show you how it works. Let's go over tonight, and I'm gonna show you guys how it works. Actually, I just realized that this example I'm going to give you is the prime example and the best example that I could give you. So right now, I want diligent diligent bees. Now, diligent bees are product of cultivated and common. Now, I'm going to need a princess of one and a drone of the other. And at the moment, I have a princess of none and drones many of both. However, I do have the common template of the template of a common bee. So what can I do is get a princess which I have a ton of, specifically the rocky princesses, which I have a metric ton of. Go to the splicer, add the template, and add the princess. Now the rocky princess will forget the fact that it's rocky princess, will copy everything from this common template and change into a common princess, hopefully with nothing unintended happening. Let's let it finish processing. Alright, so just about to finish. I think it wasn't using any liquid DNA during the process, will only... Oh, okay, so I guess the process may fail once, but will probably succeed the second time. Is it using liquid DNA during this happening? Actually, I think it doesn't. Probably only consume the liquid DNA once the process finishes successfully. I have a feeling. Yeah, I'm gonna let it finish. Okay, will it be successful now? Nope, not again. Okay, so I guess the process may need some time to actually go through. I'm gonna give it the necessary time it needs to complete. Okay, so the process finished. Actually wasn't here to see what was happening with the liquid DNA. Seems like there is no difference I can see with the liquid DNA, but I do have a common princess now. So I still have the template, and I think the template is going to remain here forever. Like, that's it, I have a common template, and I have a common princess, and I don't have a rocky princess anymore. So when you have this, basically this entire idea, this entire tier 2 usefulness is turning a large amount of existing and common bees, like any type of bees that you have a lot of, into any type of bee that you don't have a lot of, which is extremely nice. And I already have 5 royal jelly. That's awesome. Alright, so the episode has been running quite long enough. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get the industrious bees that I'm looking for. And until then, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.